You are now watching the No Cell Roundtable. Here are your hosts, Joe Monroe and Chris Sack.
Wait, hang on. Wait a minute.
Magic.
Why am I down here and where's CZ?
I'm a wizard now.
Rob, what are you doing here?
I'm a wizard now. I've been promoted. I can do lightning bolt.
Hang on.
Zap.
Let me fix this. Sorry, Stryker. Don't mean to move you. Rusty, Stryker, good to see you guys. But why are you here?
I ask that question every week.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Folks, welcome to the No Cell Roundtable. CZ unfortunately could not make it. He is on a field trip today. Well, at least that's what he told me. But in his place tonight, we got the wizard R2. Really, Rob?
RZK.
RZK. Okay. But before we get started, Rob, I have a message for you.
Oh, no. Am I fired already?
This is your favorite wizard, CZ. And just because I'm not at the round table tonight doesn't mean I'm not still the co-host. So, Rob, I'm talking to you directly. Do not get too comfortable. We both know that I'm good friends with a certain cowboy that can give you a lethal lariat anytime I ask him to. But sorry I can't be there to talk WrestleMania with you guys. I am otherwise occupied. We'll see you, though, next time. I'll be back as soon as possible. Rob, thank you seriously for filling in.
I almost feel bad about the hat.
So just remember, there's the one called Manders if you mess this up tonight. You got it?
You act like I'm afraid of him.
Hang on, let's ask Stryker. Stryker, is Rob...
We'll have to wait and see.
I got a nasty right arm. It's cool.
I want to comment on that, but I'm not going to. Rusty, buddy, it's good to see you. Where are you at tonight?
I'm sitting in the parking lot of my daughter's job, waiting for her to get off work.
You got something special planned. I know you do. Well, we are going to be talking about, in case you all haven't seen the overlay here, we're going to talk about WrestleMania, past and present. Basically, we're just going to be four guys just talking about WrestleMania, our favorite moments. But first, I want to give a big shout out to a couple of folks. One, the Wrestling Society Network. If you have not checked out the Wrestling Society Network, you have lived under a rock. It's right here. The Wrestling Society Network, you can find at thewrestlingsociety.com or the WSN app, which you can find on Roku, Fire Stick, Amazon, Apple TV. Did I say Roku already? I think I did. But in case I didn't, Roku, because that's where I got mine. So, and, Rusty, how much is it?
Free!
Exactly. It's free. So what are you doing? Quit sitting there on your bum. Quit waiting on the Hall of Fame at 1 a.m. We'll get to that in a minute. And go download the Wrestling Society Network and watch some videos there while you wait. All right.
Hey, you want to know the fun feature I love about it now?
What's the fun feature?
We got Saturday morning cartoons back.
That is right. Rusty can actually get up and feel like a kid again. You know, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. We can actually, no kidding, for Saturday mornings, it does make you feel like a kid. So tomorrow morning, after you crash and hungover after watching the Hall of Fame, hell, you may even be up still from watching the Hall of Fame, go check it out. Also, I want to give a big shout out. Now, we called this the Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. It has now been changed to the Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. That's because I am a Kentuckian and the majority of people on the board are Kentuckians, and we thought, why not? Let's change it to Commonwealth to represent our great state of Kentucky. So that's why it's changing. I got to be honest with you, the board member who made the logo, it's pretty sweet. But be sure we changed it to July 12th because guess what, guys? You ain't gonna believe this or not. A lot of people has already reached out. Hey, when the hell was tickets going to be on sale? And that was over the amount we had available. So it's the same venue, but a different part of the community center. And we got something pretty big planned just for that. So be on the lookout for announcements there. But enough about me, John, about stuff I'm working on, side projects, and a great event that, a certain professor is going to be a part of in the Hall of Fame. let's go ahead. Let's talk about WrestleMania. Now, before we get to the past and present, I was able to grab some still shots of what this year's Mania is going to look like. And to be honest with you guys, I think it looks great. What do you guys think?
I love it.
It's definitely an upgrade from years past.
And it looks like they're staying with that darker theme, like they went with Raw and SmackDown, have the darker colors.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll look, especially fancy once we get like the spotlights on the folks coming to the ring. Cody Rhodes is, prone to his histrionics to begin with. Just think about how thoroughly bitching he will look under the spotlight underneath that set. Like I do really like the set this year.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at these still pictures right here, it's like, okay, they've done it. Hey, hang on. Speaking of Hall of Famers, I've seen one come in. Bear, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Bear, where are you at?
Somewhere.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Is he in the center?
Did
Square.
Did he just God us here? I mean,
I am a bear, so I sneak around.
Poof.
There he is. Hey, Bear, how's it going, brother?
All right.
I want to put you right here on top, and we're going to move this down here. Good to see you, Bear. In case you haven't missed it, you didn't miss a whole lot. CZ got replaced by another wizard, and, well.
I was wondering. I was like, man, that workout is really doing you some good, and damn it, I need some of that.
Wrestling with Fitness once a month, I believe. The last Wednesday of the month, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, last Wednesday of the month. That is correct. This is when they do all that. But we were discussing the new set for WrestleMania this year. They did a big reveal earlier today. What's your thoughts on it?
Spectacular as usual. They go all out with WrestleMania, so I expect nothing less than great.
Right. Well, not only that, this year's Hall of Fame is going to be tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time, which us on the East Coast is 1 a.m., which I think this is the latest they ever started the Hall of Fame. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take a nap, wake up, and watch the Hall of Fame then. What are you guys going to do?
Sting ain't there, so I don't care.
I'm going to bed. Triple H will still be talking when I wake up in the morning. It'll be fine.
And I've got a hot take real quick.
Okay.
This Hall of Fame class does not excite me.
Really?
I mean, they just don't excite me. I don't know why.
Because one's a Nepo, one's the Undertaker's wife. And I mean, as much as I love Uncle Fred and John Tenta, I mean, they're not first string Hall of Famers. Like I'll throw it out there. Like, don't get me wrong, I love me some Tugboat, and I absolutely hated the natural disasters as a child, but they are definitely not a top tier Hall of Fame a tandem. We'll say. Like, I mean, I'm not going to argue against them going in, but like, I can see where there won't be any hype for them. So like outside of like Lex Luger, there's really not a whole lot.
Lex Luthor?
I was about to say Lex Luthor. Yeah. Totally different hairstyles. So like I should have known better. But like outside of Lex Luger, like there's not a whole lot going on this year to be like super psyched about unless you are a mark for one of the batches. And like that's not even like taking into account that they've started adding in matches to the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, oh my God, Barrett. Yeah, go ahead. I know you're going to speak right on that. Go for it.
No, actually, I
set him off again.
I was actually going to speak on Lex Luger. I'm more surprised on how many people are excited that Luger is going into the Hall of Fame, considering that Luger really wasn't that over. Really, I know there was a lot of people that really disliked Luger. So when they announced him, I'm a big Luger fan, so I was happy, but I was very shocked on how many people were happy about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were I wish I have to agree with you. I wish it was Sting inducted him.
Yeah.
DDP is acceptable considering.
Yeah.
The work
But-
he's done with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certain people that should indult certain people. And no disrespect to DDP, but everybody who knows anything about wrestling knows Luger and Sting are best friends.
Right.
It's just like having when they had Sting put in the Hall of Fame and they let Ric Flair put him in.
Right.
It's like, okay, I get it because Luger, yeah, it wasn't on good terms and stuff, but it's like when Flair went in, they should have had Arn Anderson do it.
Right.
It's just certain people, it's like tag partners or certain, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
Now, the question is, does Luger walk out or does he wheel out?
He'll
Rusty,
wheel out and then stand up and walk.
what the hell, man?
Well, I mean, he's been working with DDP, so I'm just wondering, is he going to walk out or is he going to be in his wheelchair?
Do you
I'm just
got
asking.
do you have pent up energy for missing the watch along or something?
No, I'm just asking a question.
I'm about to give you a Ruskers if you don't stop. Oh, good Lord.
Because
Hopefully he walks out.
I hate to admit this, but I think Vegas has a prop bet out on that.
I mean, they have bets on everything. So as sad as it sounded, it wouldn't surprise me at least one bookie having it out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to hell. Okay. And Rusty's driving it. All right. Well, Striker, you've been pretty quiet. What's your thoughts on Luger?
Well, I mean, he does definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I still think Sting, just like Professor said, Sting should have been the guy because they've been tag team champions multiple times, and they had the. And we're not going to talk about Michelle McCool though. Just saying.
Yeah. We won't talk about
But see,
that.
I really want to know, was Sting asked or was he not asked or did he get blocked?
We'll never know, probably. We'll never know. That's going to be a rumor for years to come, what happened there.
Yeah, that's something else that people can blame Tony Khan for.
I assume they didn't even ask.
Well, I was going to say, just give it maybe a few months. Someone's going to interview Sting and ask him, so why did you not induct Luger in the Hall of Fame? And we'll find out then.
Yeah, he's truthful and honest. But enough of that, the Hall of Fame, because we'll be talking about that probably some other time. We're going to talk about WrestleMania's past and present. I'm pretty sure Bear and Rusty has seen the very first one, if we're lucky live. Well, Rusty at least. Bear's not that old.
No, I'm actually older than Rusty.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I could make a comment, but you love me too much. But yeah, I mean, first question I have is, of course, with time, things change. Going by looking at the first WrestleMania, because I just watched it the other day, and we're about to come up on, what is this, 40? 41?
41.
Right. So we're at 41. Coming from the first one to this one, how much stuff, a lot of things have changed, but minus, the theatrics and all that, the feel of WrestleMania, how do you think that's changed or hasn't even changed?
It definitely has changed because from just being a wrestling show, it's a worldwide event now. You have places that get into the mix of trying to have it in their city. You have people coming all over the world to see WrestleMania. You have so many different wrestling company that's not affiliated with WWE that finds out where the event is at, and then they will book up everything around to get money from WrestleMania. It's truly the Super Bowl of wrestling. And I think that if you had asked anybody back in the day, only one person would have envisioned this, and we're not allowed to say his name.
Yeah, we can. The hell with it, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vince, I think this is what Vince wanted, make it so big and extravagant. And like I said, if you talk to a wrestling fan and they said they've never been to a WrestleMania, you'll look at them kind of strange for a second, like, what the hell, man? So it's like if you do nothing else in wrestling, you at least want to go to at least one WrestleMania.
Indeed.
Yeah, I didn't go to the one when it came here to AT&T Stadium. I didn't go to that one.
Why didn't you?
So I missed my shot.
They'll come back to Texas.
Well,
Wrestling-
I would just say this. I might have went to WrestleMania 32 at AT&T Stadium. Just
Rob, what do you think, buddy?
I mean, I fully agree with what Bear said. Like he hit the nail on the head. So like obviously on a scale of importance in terms of like global product, I mean it's bigger than ever. Again, we are looking at a multiple night affair. The closest thing we got to that was WrestleMania 2 when they tried to do it in 3 cities in one night, which was kind of a cluster, but we can talk about that later on. But like I will say, like as a fan, like the feeling as a fan, like honestly for me, like okay, I'm old and jaded and really don't give two poops about the WWE anymore, but like the concept, we'll say, of WrestleMania, like as a fan, like has never changed for me. Like it has always been like the thing. Like this is the biggest night of the year. This is, as Bear said, and how WWE likes to put it, this is our Super Bowl, and is very much still that, and it's still that for a lot of fans and wrestlers too. Like I as part of the Confusion podcast, I talk to a lot of wrestlers, and like I do, especially for guys that are less than 5 years in the business. I like to ask, like, okay, you know, AEW, WWE, New Japan, you know, they all come at you, same offer, like same Brinks truck. Like, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, you really can't beat WrestleMania. Like, you know, they may like prefer the AEW style, but nothing like the possibility of being on WrestleMania is still a lot of workers' dreams. And it's still, you know, the showcase of the immortals, for like regardless of like what you may think of the product now or think of the behind the scenes or certain people within the company or formerly within the company.
Right. Well,
Hey,
that's what, if it's showcase, then Rusty needs to go there because Rusty will probably outlive us all.
let me backtrack to your WrestleMania 2 comment. I know technology back then wasn't all that great. If they tried to pull that off now, do you think it would be a whole lot better?
No.
Yeah.
It would still be a cluster with having this switchboarding and everything has came up quite a bit, but there's still going to be those probably technical difficulties, probably even worse than what it is.
I
they
think
pulled off that double Raw show pretty good.
Well, that's what I was going to say. With the technology and things, there definitely would they be able to do it better now, and especially with the fan. And that's something that I think people don't really understand is fans can drive a show. I don't care what show it is. If the fans are not with it, the wrestlers know it, and they feel that. So nowadays, fans get excited and just do anything. The Raw after Mania, I mean, they just love to show their butts, and that's fine, and that's why I think you could get away with it differently now. If you had it in 3 different cities, you have the main person running, and you have your key people at each one. I think it wouldn't be a problem at all. I don't see why you would do it, but I think you could do it.
And it's so, like, comparatively speaking, so easy to do and like relatively cheap. I think they would probably experiment it with it a bit more rather than WrestleMania was the test. And now things are like, technology's evolved far enough that like they can test it out with, like, say, a Raw or an NXT takeover, assuming they're still calling them takeovers, or another Saturday night's main event or something. They'd have the opportunity to test it out before WrestleMania shows up.
Okay, because I said it in the YouTube video I did with the history of Mania 1 was the make it or break it. 2 was like mistakes were made, and I think WrestleMania 3, and most people can agree, really solidified the not only WrestleMania but WWE for its entirety now. But
100% agreed.
Thank you. But my next question is this. And this is a question I also asked in this on that episode. What's y'all's favorite WrestleMania moment?
Jesus,
Man, that's hard.
All right, well, here we'll do this. Top 5.
Well, obviously, number 1 for me will always be actually going to WrestleMania, just to be in that.
How is it the youngest person here is the only one in here that's been?
no, I've been to Mania.
You've been to Mania?
Yeah, I just don't talk about it because I'm not too proud of it. It was Mania 17, not 17, the one in Atlanta.
Oh, 27.
The Miz headlined it.
Oh, you were at that.
He didn't really headline. It was still a Rock.
Yeah, it was Miz because The Rock wrestled 2 years, the next following 2 years, and which pissed me off after seeing they were going to wrestle. I was like, I could have saved my money and went to Florida to watch The Rock wrestle.
Well, you didn't know he was going to wrestle, so let's be honest.
Yeah, no, didn't. But I did. I couldn't even name my top 5 because there's certain matches, certain things. I would say definitely in my top 5 is Taker and Shawn.
I
think that's for almost every wrestling fan for WrestleMania purposes.
I think that's like the Mania match.
Yeah.
And I tell you another one that a lot of people I catch grief over, but I argue was the top match of that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Undertaker and Batista. They stole the show. They stole the show of that Mania because they were pissed because of where they were put on the card, and they went out to steal the show. And in my humbleness, I think they did. Love that match.
Okay. What about your next 3?
I would have to say WrestleMania 17 for, 2 matches in particular, Rock and Stone Cold, and the TLC match with Hardy's, Dudley's, and Edge and Christian. Because that's what made me fall in love with tag team wrestling, was that certain match.
Sharkers got 2, Bears got 2. Just chime in when you guys want to.
The Wizard put a gun to my head and made me pick a moment for Card Subject to Change podcast.
He did not.
There. Okay, he put a fireball to my head and made me choose. But for me, I ultimately, like, I went a different direction, and I said for me, WrestleMania 7, the reunion of the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, because this was like the first WrestleMania I was really cognizant of. because I'd been about 7-ish thereabouts when this happened, so 7 or 8. So this was like the first WrestleMania where I actually like realized this is WrestleMania. This is a big deal. But I knew Macho Man and Elizabeth had not been together in a couple of years. And even then, like, I was aware that she really didn't, she was there, but she was strictly a valet. She never really, like, I don't know, she was just there to look pretty. And watching her make her way down the aisle, full pace to save the Macho Man from the beating from Sensational Sherry after he lost his career match with the Ultimate Warrior, watching her dispose of Sherry, who, I mean, let's face it, like, she scares me. Like, she could beat me up. But she was willing to do that for her man. And with that leading to the match made in heaven of SummerSlam that year, like that always stuck to me, like almost more than like the streak ending, or Ric Flair getting super kicked to end his career, or Brock Lesnar spiking himself on a shooting star press. Like,
yeah. Also, shameless plug. Check out the exhibit at the Capital City Museum in Frankfurt for Miss Elizabeth. I'll be doing a video on that soon, but guys, that was awesome. A whole room dedicated to her. That was it's what you think it would be and more. It's in its own room, but the prize thing that they have off to the corner, since we're speaking about Mania, they have on display the Mania 3 necklace she wore.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, is there like lasers and security and why is this just here? Why is this just here? But that right there, that was a surreal moment. My daughter, she's like, "Ooh, necklace, I want that." I'm like, no. But that was one thing they brought up in that was that moment at 7, and I'm like, you better. All right, so Rusty, you're being awfully quiet down there, brother.
I'm just listening. Bear was talking about the Taker Shawn match, but one of mine would have to be the end of the era match with Taker and Triple H when they all hugged at the end at the entrance ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a pretty touching moment right there. And then I'm gonna probably take some flack on this, which don't hate me, but I enjoyed the Sting and Triple H match.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that.
If you don't think about it, it was fun.
Yes, correct. Because you had the DX and NWO, all that stuff was nostalgia stuff that people enjoyed. But I know the meaning behind the match, and not throw that out the window.
Right.
And then the third one that I have would have to be a lot of these are Undertaker stuff, because WrestleMania ain't but Undertaker, really. But the cinematic match with AJ Styles. That was a pretty cool moment, I think.
And it spawned a meme. Yeah, so it's the greatest match ever, obviously.
No, that's the Edge match, remember?
The greatest match in wrestling history.
I will say one thing about that, Rusty, is it was still weird at that time because that was during the pandemic and there was no fans. It was still so weird.
But they done it so good.
Absolutely.
That and Money in the Bank are like my two favorite cinematic things. For like because that the Boneyard match was like legit art, like legit cinema. And then on the other hand, Money in the Bank was like a Roger Corman movie, which I also love.
Well, here's the thing. You bring up Money in the Bank. The first one at 20, it was 21.
26. I thought it was 26.
No, it's 21.
I was going to say 22. There goes my trivia championship out the window.
Yeah. Well, good job. No, 21. That's when Edge won it. It was the main stable for Mania for
a handful of years before they turned it into its
4
own pay-per-view.
years?
yeah. I know from for sure. Let's see. Was it? Did they have it at 26?
Yeah, that was when Jack Swagger won it.
Right.
Jump
So
on the shark.
at least 5 years. Because I know 25. That was when Punk won.
Second time.
Second time, yeah. And I remember as a kid, that's one of my favorite moments when he won Money in the Bank because he 100% freaking deserved it. But I wonder why they decided, because that was one of those things like, hey, this is kind of like the Undertaker streak. This is associated with Mania, but what we're going to do, we're going to turn it into a pay-per-view. I never did understand that.
Money.
Yeah, because they kind of did that because they also started Hell in a Cell being its own thing
Yeah,
too.
but see, I have to disagree with that. Leave the specialty matches special, and
Exactly.
yeah, and call it a day.
Well, and then that's what Triple H is trying to do, to bring back the specialty of specialty matches.
Yeah, because once you start, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit, because in wrestling, us, as a fan and as a wrestler, we have to give the fans something to talk about. We can't give them the whole enchilada. We got to give them a little bit at a time in order for them to feed into like a story or, like a build-up or something like that. And I think specialty pay-per-views like that kind of takes that specialty away. But yeah, let's see. The first Money in the Bank, Taker versus Shawn. That's number one. Austin versus Hart. I said that before I disagree with that match. It should not be in the Hall of Fame. What else was it? Probably the Ultimate Trilogy of Rock in Austin. I'll count that as one because it happened at Mania. Even though I want to point out Stone Cold's still 2-1. Just saying. I'm just saying. A guilty pleasure one would be the Gimmick Battle Royal at 17. Come on. Look how many people were. Earthquake, for crying out loud. And he was in shape.
Yeah,
he looked good. It's like
I say, well, he lost a bunch of weight during the Attitude Era, because that was one of the reasons they forced him into Golga, was because they didn't feel like he was big enough to be Earthquake anymore.
Yeah.
But back to the Battle Royal, Shiki Baby winning because he may not have been able to bump over the top rope.
Yeah.
But the important thing is
number one.
Iran, number one. USA. Hawk. God bless you. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
I was about to say, or as Mark Henry put it when he was DJing, fuck Hulk Hogan.
To quote Shiki Baby, fuck Hulk Hogan. But
that was hilarious.
But you had, let's see, Brother Love, Jim Cornette, Michael PSA.
Michael Hayes' only WrestleMania, but somehow he made it to the Legends of WrestleMania video game.
It's true. That's probably the last time Michael P.S. Hayes looked in decent shape. Was Mania 17.
I can't remember. Did he come out in the Freebirds gear, or did he come out like, or did he come out like the Hardys?
He came out with the Freebird shirt, the Bad Street USA shirt, black
and his
cowboy
robe,
and the Rebel flag robe, and got a pop because, of course, they were in Texas.
Wasn't the Goon also in it?
Yes.
Why was the Goon? Why?
Because he finally got reinstated after all those unnecessary roughness penalties.
Oh, damn, that's another elite I got to go buy. I forgot he has his own elite.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy. But let's see, who else was in that damn battle? Slaughter was in it.
I guess it wasn't.
I know.
OG Doink. Matt
Yes.
Bourne. They brought Bourne back for that.
Matt Bourne was there.
The Bushwhackers.
They were the first ones to come out.
Was Skinner there?
Duke the Dumpster.
Duke the Dumpster came out second.
Oh God.
Kamala with Harvey Wimpleman and
that's right.
Which I thought Harvey Wimpleman was.
Hillbilly Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, Hillbilly.
Oh, yeah.
Who was still, That man never ages. I don't believe he lost his muscle mass, but he never ages.
See, I think
One of the best theme song.
Don't go mess with the
Country boy.
I mean, they like doing nostalgia stuff at WrestleMania, which I think is awesome.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, here's what we were talking about, and I'll compare it to what we're trying to do up here with the Commonwealth Hall of Fame. Is a lot of people want to holler for like a museum. WWE rightfully should have a museum, considering how stocked that fucking warehouse is. But I get what they're doing after talking with the board members, because I was talking with one of them, and he goes, we can do this each year, and people can donate stuff. We could put it on display, kind of like what they do at Mania. And it dawned on me, like, oh my God, now I know why they do it at Mania, because if you have a building, people are going to be like, well, yeah, after about 5 or 6 years, it starts slowing down, and eventually it may close down. That's a gamble. But if you do it at like Access or Mania weekend, put that stuff on display for like, what, 4 or 5 days at a time, a year, that makes it special.
Well, and I guess this is just the old school in me. I want a place where I can take my nephews and my grandkids and show them what I used to see and be able to teach them, and they have a place to learn the history.
Yeah. And I think it's especially if they're going to start inducting matches into the Hall of Fame, like I think they definitely should have like someplace like physical to properly display the match, because I mean, yes, we can Google it, but we can also Google all the people that they're inducting into the Hall of Fame too into it. But I feel like, I know you can get away with not having a plaque, but if you're gonna like say a match goes in, like you should be able to have like, I don't know, someplace to like see the match, like a mini theater or something like.
And they've got so much stuff, they can rotate it and keep it fresh all the time.
True.
Like have this month be about this period and then this period.
Or only have exhibits out for like 6 months to a year at a time.
Yeah, I mean, treat it like every other museum. Like every museum has its core, like they just leave out like all year round, and then you do have like the main exhibit rotate. Like, I mean, look at like King Tut. Like King Tut does the rounds across the world, and then whatever museum has them for that month, like has a special Egyptian setup for the King Tut, and then when it's time for Tut to go to the next town, it's replaced with Chinese New Year, or whatever. The next thing someone they paid a lot of money to bring in.
So what's that place that they've been showing that you're watching wrestling, but it feels like you're there in the ring?
That's
World.
Oh yeah.
No, are you talking about like that college in like Texas?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They could build something like that and have these matches playing where people go sit. Like here in my area, we got the thing called the Omni Theater, where all the seats are almost straight up and down, but the whole screen's all around you.
Yeah.
And if they're going to have these matches, they have that one special room. But oh, dude, I'm just right above the ring. I can look down and see everything.
Well, and like it's not uncommon for museums to have like a theater room. I mean, even the Tragos Thez Hall of Fame as part of the Gable Wrestling Hall of Fame has its own like viewing room where they play the 30 for 30 on Dan Gable.
That could be interesting. I want to write that down.
Well, would you want to see a Professor Bird podcast? I wouldn't.
I would.
I know. We'll pick a really good episode, or we could just use like last week's roundtable where you just went off on everything, and we'll call that good.
We'll make sure to. Well, I'll talk to Brady, clip the greatest moments, and we'll put that on display for you at the Hall of Fame, brother. But
hey, every time Bear's somewhere, I'm there.
Yes, you are.
Hey, July 12th, you need to fly out here, Rusty. So I know I want to talk about Bear for just a minute. This man says, "Oh, I'm nothing," Bull crap. How many autographs did you sign just that day? The first time you were out here in Kentucky with the table, how many autographs did you sign?
2.
Exactly. So people know who you are. So don't say
and here's the thing. It's not that there are so many more people worthy than me for the sport that we love. I just don't feel like I should take a space when there's more people, definitely more special than me. And that's just because I love this sport. And what I bring to the sport is such little, and so many different athletes risk their lives, their livelihood, their marriage, their everything. And it's just humbling to me that people would give me that type of due, and I'm like, nah. So it's not that I don't appreciate it and not happy for the honor, but I would definitely feel like someone else should go before me. But that's just me.
Well, I mean, I'll put it 2 ways. Do you want the stupid thing first or the real thing first?
Let's go real thing.
The real thing. Remember, wrestling is more than what goes on in the ring. Wrestling from top to bottom has a myriad of people that go unappreciative for the work they do. And yes, we could try to rank the work from, being a wrestler and putting on a 5-star match or the greatest story ever told in the ring to the guys that are just handing flyers out on the street. I guess I need to raise my hand up so we see. But like, part of wrestling is promotion and acknowledging the history of it. And to be frank, that's what the Wrestling Society is all about. In some way, we're celebrating the past and promoting the present / future of professional wrestling. And that's where you fit into things. That's just my humble opinion. I had no idea we're talking about this, but like a good co-host, I can step up to the occasion every now and again.
Well, I will say, I was going to say the same thing, but he said it more beautifully than I ever could. So that's why you're going in, and that's why I made the decision. And believe it or not, the board voted on it.
And
so
also, remember that Michelle McCool is going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
Don't compare him to Michelle McCool.
Okay, fine. Charmel Huffman made it into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
there,
geez.
are you happy now?
At least Charmel was a Nitro girl.
I mean,
I don't want Taker coming up here looking for me. I'm just like,
yeah, where's that professor?
Whatever. I can say whatever. We'll say it's my idea. He can come after me. He can get in line after Manders. There's a line foreman for the Wizard RZK. Taker, you're in the back of it now.
Bear, what's up with these wizards? Am I like the gateway to Hogwarts or something? Jeez Louise.
Hey, I was going to talk to you afterwards, but
oh man. But this is why I love the round table. We get to sit here and just chit chat and talk about nonsense manias, whatever. This is why I love the round table. But the last question I got for today, do we get to see a Mania 100?
Ooh.
That's very good.
Not in our lifetime, but I believe
in history.
In history, I think so.
I think as long as WWE exists, there'll be WrestleMania. I mean, so barring various socioeconomic, I don't want to say political because the politics don't have much to do with it, but socioeconomics, and we'll call it the stability of society itself. Barring those things, I definitely think as long as there's WWE, there'll be a WrestleMania. And WWE, like, as much as we joke or like, we forget that there were a handful of times that WWE was like 3 steps away from going under. So like there is a case, but the way things are going at the moment, it's kind of hard to see that happening. I mean, by that happening, I mean WWE going under. I do think as long as I think there's a puncher's chance we see when we're returning to cyborgs, we will see WrestleMania 100.
All right. Anybody else want to add in?
You haven't talked to Bit Striker.
Thanks.
Co-host.
I'm gonna just say this, like, after like Triple H is done running everything, who's gonna take over next for WWE?
Cody.
Actually, it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe Pepsi Phil.
I was about to say, look, and there's a lot of grandkids and bloodline, and no pun intended, in the McMahon, so they could continue running it.
And we need to also remember that they're full corporate now, so like we don't even have to rely on a McMahon or a McMahon family member by proxy taking it over. They can nab some other big CEO like Nick Khan to come in and, you know, make all the best business deals in the world that will make the money hand over fist, regardless of what creative decisions are made in the meanwhile.
Tony Khan. Oh, you said make money. My bad.
I'm gonna turn my TV off now.
Oh man, Rusty.
No, I really think WrestleMania is like the World Series in baseball. People don't care about the whole year, but they will watch the World Series. They will watch WrestleMania, even though they don't know what's going on. They will watch it. If they're not even wrestling fans. My brother, he's not really a big baseball fan. But hey, when the World Series comes on, he'll watch all the World Series games.
That's the only time I watch it.
So I mean,
Super Bowl's another example too.
I mean, you have to watch. I mean, they just watch it because of the halftime show, but who cares about that?
They not like us, so it's okay.
But I just wonder when all the fireworks and the pyro is going to be 4th of July, New Year's Eve kind of deal now.
Right. Well, gentlemen, tonight's been fun, but I'm probably going to end this a little earlier so I can, for one, go to bed, for two, wake up early for the Hall of Fame because I like watching it live. I've watched it live since me and Papa started watching it, and I've not missed a year. So that's a tradition. So let's go ahead. Let's tell the people where you can find them. Rusty, we'll start with you, my gray bearded friend.
The only place you can really find me is just on Facebook under Rusty Roman, and/or on Monday nights on the WSN Watch Along, where we just watch independent wrestling shows and try to get them on and talk about them and promote them and get the indie scene out there and get everybody excited about the indie scene again.
That was your idea, right, Rusty?
I went back and read the text messages. I think I brought it up, but I did ask the owner, said, hey, Brock's, Preston, and I have been talking about this. What do you think? So their names are mentioned in the text message.
Just stir in the pot. Stir in the pot.
I'm going to bring that text message up on Monday. So
this time on the Wrestling Society Court, Judge Bear writes.
Exhibit A.
Oh, man. Striker, where can the fine people find you at, sir?
Well, I'm tempted to start making wrestling content over on TikTok very soon.
Yeah. All right.
And you can find me on Striker, just remove the ER and then put INGAA on TikTok.
All right, we'll see you. Professor Bear, remind the people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Facebook under the Wrestling Society Network. We hit, if I'm correct, I think we hit 4,800. So we're definitely looking forward to that 5,000. Thank you. You can find me on different podcasts, generally B&B show and a Bear's Thought. And as always, I always like to thank all wrestling fans, and always mention if it was not for you, it wouldn't be in me. So thank you very much.
Get your autographs while they last, because they are expensive, folks. All right. All right. Well, fine. I'll say it. Wizard RZK, where can they find you at?
Well, not engaging in wizard battles. I'm the host of the Confusion Wrestling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. It is the last bastion of independent wrestling. We bring forth interviews with the independent scene and give spotlights to various promotions and events throughout the year. This week, I sat down with Lonzo the Chicano Romero, graduate of the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy by by Seth Rollins. I can be found on social media. Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram are all at the Nova of Cass. Facebook is Confusion Wrestling Podcast, and usually some variation of the two almost anywhere else.
All right. Well, y'all know me. I'm Joe Monroe. You can find me here on Friday night. Special, another start time because they changed my shoot job schedule yet again. Going to be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is 8:30 Central. Rusty, please don't forget that. That way you don't ask me 50 blue million times. But you can find me Wednesday nights. We are going to try to put out some exclusive content on our YouTube channel. We upload to Facebook the next day. Don't forget, this past week we talked about the history of WrestleMania. That video is actually getting pretty decent views, so go check it out. Go subscribe to the Wrestling Society Network on all their social media outlets. Go check out the website, thewrestlingsociety.com. It is 100% free to sign up, and go get the WSN app. Guess what? That is also free to put on your Roku, your Apple TV, your Amazon, your Fire Stick. It's free. Just shut up, enjoy wrestling, watch the fucking app. Yeah, you can tell I'm a little wired tonight. But
And you forgot something, the newest thing.
What, the Saturday morning cartoons?
No, us on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, we're on Spotify. Bears worked hard on that. Or you can hear us on audio. You probably have to hear me edit worse than Jim Cornette, but you can check us out on Spotify. All of our shows are going up there. Bear's working his butt off on that. Thank you again, Bear, for doing that.
Thank you very much.
And until next time, you might see Rusty eat a lot of Reskers. I'm Joe Monroe with the Joe Monroe Show and Wrestling Society Network. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, keep on supporting it, keep on loving it. But if you're going to be a troll, for God's sakes, please just shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. We are out. I'll see you there at the end. I'm sorry.